Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to the leader in you. This is Catherine, your host. Today, we're going to jump right in. Today, we're going to be talking about displaced for purpose. I'm going to say that again, displaced for purpose. You know, as we build and as we continue to grow as a leader, sometimes we'll get to a point in our life that we feel we are displaced. Now, when we look at the word displaced, it often can mean to move from its proper or usual place. Sometimes something can be displaced and it was forced. Sometimes you had to leave from a particular place. Sometimes there was a great disaster around you, and you had no option but to transition. How many of you ever felt that you have been displaced? So when we talk about displaced, it means that something is put into a different place. Oftentimes in that different place, we will feel disjointed. And in feeling disjointed, sometimes in that place, it can feel lonely, it can feel depressing, it can be overwhelming, right? Now, when we think about displaced, right? Oftentimes there's a shift that is taking place. And with that shift, it can be uncomfortable because you're shifting from what you knew. You're shifting from what you thought was stability. You're shifting from what you thought was purpose, only to discover it was not on solid ground to begin with. So when we talk about being displaced, there's many things that can cause displacement. I want you to think about your life right now and think about your business. Many businesses in 2020 have been displaced because of COVID-19, and they had to shift and they had to move. A lot of the businesses that was just used to brick and mortar had to figure out this whole virtual thing to keep their business alive. I say to you, what do you need to do through your displacement to continue to thrive and not succumb to the depression, not succumb to the challenges that are around you because of the displacement? How do you still need to move forward? How do you still need to stay focused on the vision? What can you do? What do you need to do? Now, we talk about displaced for a purpose. So when we look at the word for, it is often used to indicate the place someone or something is going to or toward. So I ask you, if you have been displaced, should that mean or could that mean you're being redirected to go into the direction that you always are meant to go into, right? If you are displaced, perhaps you're being redirected to go closer to your purpose. Sometimes, the word for is often used to indicate about a person that is about to do something, a person that is about to release something, a person that's about to walk into something. It's used to indicate a thing, right? And what that thing is meant to be used for. So what we all have to do is look at our place of displacement and see it for what it is. It is a place of transition. It is a place for you to be built up. It is a place for you to rid of any toxic things that are around you. When you are displaced, it is uncomfortable. So when we also look at the word for, it is important to think about the word for is often used to define a specific period of time. So I ask you, what time are you in your life? What period of time are you in? What are you transitioning out from and what are you transitioning into? That's something I talked about on a previous podcast. We're always transitioning out from something and transitioning into something. And I ask you, what is it for you? How have you been displaced? And what period of time are you in? We have to continue to move forward into the direction of our dreams. We can't stop. We can't quit. We can't give up. We must stay focused. Stay focused on our purpose. Stay focused on our dream. Stay focused on why we got started to begin with, right? We can't lose hope. We have to move forward. We have to stay focused. It's time to go into the direction of our dream. It's time to travel. It's time to let go of toxic surroundings. Sometimes we're stuck And the place that we thought was the strong foundation actually was our displaced place. And sometimes we become so uncomfortable that it's pushing us into our place of security, our place that does have a secure foundation. Now, when we think about purpose, right? Purpose is the reason for which we do something or why we do it. It's the reason whatever was created in your life, right? Why do you feel you're called into a certain direction? Why do you feel that you're pulled to go into a certain direction? It's a specific purpose on your life that no one can fulfill but you. It is the reason why you exist. It is the reason why you were born. You know, when we think about the word purpose, it gives us a definition that a purpose is a goal. It is an intention. It is the reason for which something is done, created, or exists. So I ask you, if you are displaced right now, what is the purpose in your displacement? What is the purpose of where you are right now? What are you supposed to get out of where you are right now? Shift your thinking. Shift the thinking. Why are you where you are right now? And what are you supposed to get out of it? You will grow past this point. You will mature past this point. I say good morning to the leader in you. What I want you to do is look in the mirror. If you don't have that mirror in front of you, look in your cell phone and put your camera video on or the photo section. And I want you to look into that mirror and I want you to say, you have been displaced for a purpose. You have been displaced for a purpose to redefine who you are, to rediscover who you are, to strip you down to bare bone. And as you're being stripped down, you're going to be built back up. You have been displaced for purpose. Perhaps you say, I haven't achieved the goals that I wanted to achieve in my life up to this point. It's okay. You have been displaced for purpose. In order for you to walk into the next chapter that you are supposed to walk into, this displacement had to come. The interruption had to come. The shift had to come. Because if you stayed in what you were in, you could have possibly died in that place. And maybe, no, it might not have been a literal death, but you would have died to your purpose. You would have longed for your purpose no more. That fire that's on the inside of you would have been dimmed. I say to you, you have been displaced for purpose. Now, with that displacement, what you have to do is be so conscious about using each and every day to rediscover yourself. Otherwise, you will find yourself in a state of depression. You will find yourself in a state of exclusion. This time of rediscovering yourself is not about, being upset about the situation that caused you to be displaced. It's about understanding who you are and who you shall be and where you're going. So I need you to release any anger, any bitterness, any resentment, anything that caused you to be displaced. I need you to release that. Because for this next phase that you're about to go into your life, if you take that anger, that bitterness, that anxiety, all of that, if you take that into your next, then it's going to continue to fester and you won't be productive. You won't be able to produce at the level in which you truly have been called to produce. So this is why I say good morning to the leader in you. Good morning to the leader in you. This is not your time to quit. This is not your time to give up. This is not that time, but this is time for a shift. This is time for a shift so you can be reawakened to who you are and fully now walk into who you are. Because see, you've only been walking a slither percentage of who you are. Just maintaining and kind of putting yourself out there in your business and growing your business, but you have not been operating at a level of, the level in which you can go because there's been too much stuff around you. So this displacement is to clear the air for you. This displacement is to reorder your steps into the path you are truly called to be in. So release the anger, release the bitterness. Don't be even upset that you're in a place of displacement and what you see around you in this place of displacement don't even look good. Like, how can this be my place of shift? It doesn't even look like where I'm going. Don't be deceived by that. Perhaps you're hidden for a purpose. You're hidden for a purpose so that way you can rediscover yourself. So that way when it's time for you to come back out, and fully flow in your business and fully flow in your leadership capacity, you will be strong. You won't be weak. You will not worry about what is said to the left of you, said to the right of you. You will have a clear focus and a clear vision. Listen, guys, this has been another edition of Good Morning to the Leader in You. If you need help with your business development, for those of you that may not know, I help organizations get their 501c3 tax exempt status. I work with organizations to get identify what type of grants and funds they can use, as well as if you are a for-profit business, assisting you to develop your business plan, and just really being focused on helping you to determine what strategy you need to go into to execute. So as we get ready to wind down this episode, think about where you're going. Don't ever quit. Don't give up. Send me an email if you need support around your business, ct@katherinetrotter.com. Check out my website, www.katherinetrotter.com. And I'm going to see everybody at the top, and I'll see everybody next week for the next edition of Good Morning to the Leader in You.